Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome, welcome. My name is Obindako. Uh, Welcome. I want to share with you um, a long topic. I have just started a business. I'm making some money. What do I do going forward? What do I do next? Not many of us, had business education. Not many of us are coming from families that, you know, have been doing business that we get to learn the basis and the fundamentals of trying to do something. Let's say you're a carpenter. Let's say you are a mason. Let's say you are a cook. Let's say you are a seamstress. You know, and you start what you would call business. There are so many people in this kind of category. Where we're not so much schooled and we don't know so much, we don't read so much, we're not exposed to a lot of things, but then we happen to start a business. And you just were you were just thinking that what can I do, so maybe you started to produce something. Maybe you started to produce some clothes, or maybe some chairs, maybe some food drinks, fruit drinks, maybe some cake, some whatever that people do. And you're thinking of, okay, now that I've started this thing, maybe you have done it for 2 months, 3 months, 5 months. uh, you are trying, and now people are buying. You are thinking, this thing is not bad at all. It's a business. Maybe you're selling kinky, whatever that you are doing, and it has started to make sense to you. It has started to bring in some revenue. What I would say is that that's a good thing that you have started to do. Now, there are so many people who are looking for a business to do. What you have started, you may think that it's nothing, but it's a big thing for you to just bring, focus on, say, I want to open an electrical shop and sell electrical materials, or I want to open an iron rods shop and sell, iron rods and building materials. I want to open a restaurant. I want to get a place in the market and sell fish, or and sell polythene bags. Whatever that you have come to settle on, which you are trading in, which has started to give you some kind of revenue, I dare say that you have done well. Not many people, it appears easy, but there are so many people who cannot just decide on one thing to say that, okay, I want to start a business and this is one thing that I want to do. And you start to, offer the service and people are paying for it. That is a very good thing that you have started. Now, what do we do from that point? From that point that you have, started this business, is a shop. Maybe you have opened a bakery. Whatever that you're doing, you are producing anything that you think people are buying. Whether you are picking it from somewhere and you're selling it, or you're producing it yourself, uh, not many people can make that kind of decision. There are a lot of graduates who are unemployed, they go through town, they see the businesses people are doing, which never happens to even click their mind that I maybe mean to I can start this kind of business. It's not that simple for you to see a business idea, connect with it, and start to sell or put it into practice, and for you to start to get revenue. Not so many people can see what others are doing, but so many people cannot do it. So if you have started to do something, that's a very courageous step that you have taken, and it's good. If you happen not to have business education, maybe your English is not even right that much. Maybe you cannot even write that much. Maybe you just finish a JHS. Maybe you just finish SHS, because these are the categories of people who usually fumble with trying to understand what it takes to put this idea, which has started to work, and to build something out of it. So usually, if you don't take care, you will not Believe in yourself that, hey, this thing that I have started, maybe, I'm just going to do it to, pay my children's school fees, or I'm just going to do it to, maybe get extra income somewhere. It's a good thing that you have started. I don't think that you should put yourself down that much. It's a great thing that you can say that I have started selling kinky, I have started selling chair, I've started selling clothes. There are a lot of women on the market where you go, they are doing something, and a lot of them have done it for years. Now, the thing is that those who have gone to school, it's very difficult for them to settle on one idea which can start to give them revenue, because they pick it from a very high level. And business, as I know it, is you don't have to pick a lot of ideas from a very high level. You just look around. What is it that can sell, that people need? At least start from there, and then from there you can start it. Things can start to make sense to you. So usually, if you don't take care, people will come to say that bring a business plan. They will come and tell you, write a proposal. There are a lot of complex things that people will tell you. What I will say is that stay focused. Stay focused. If you have started something, the business plan that you need is the exercise book that you buy. You write what you're doing, where you want to go the next 2-3 months, the next 1 year, the finances that you think you are getting, how you are going to use the finances, and the people that you think you can work with. Work on your strategy in terms of the sales. How are you going to make the revenue? How are you going to make more sales? How are you going to sell the product? Those are the kind of business plans that you need. You don't need any expert, any consultant to come and write a big business plan for you when you have no idea, when you are not going for a bank loan or something like that, and when you are not, just do the things that the best of business plan is not the one that somebody wrote for you. There is the one that you scripted in your diary, the ones that you wrote in your exercise book. That's a good business plan, that just some 3, 4, 5 points that you can project to say that, okay, this is the business that I've started. It's making sense. People are patronizing it. What do I have to do? So you put some things on paper to say that maybe the whole of 2018, maybe if I'm selling 2 of the items a day, I would want to maybe increase it going forward. From August, I would want to sell maybe 4. And you project. Let's say you're making 10,000 a month. You're making 100 CDs a month. You write that down. Now, there are things that you have to master if you are going to do this and not fail, because most people start their business, start this, they open the shop, go to the market, get a table. They start to do that, and it gets to a point where they become frustrated because they didn't separate a lot of things. So separate one, you may have to look at what you're selling, and you look at the market that you're selling, where you're selling it. You think that it can increase in terms of the sales, or you think that there is a place that you may have to go. So you look at that, you look at where you have stationed your business. You think that the business can grow from there. You don't have to be a genius. You just have to focus on the basis and get the business right. The other thing is that you should know that for you to grow that business that you have just started, that is making profit, you must develop yourself. You must develop yourself as a person. You must develop your ability to serve your customers. You must develop your ability to work with 1 or 2 people and to have their best interests at heart. You must develop the ability to train and to talk and to communicate with the people. You must understand the market that you are focusing on. If you started a cake business, you must understand the people who are going to buy. You cannot do it just like anybody else. You must bring some kind of standard into it, and focus on not putting so much money into that which you have just started. And don't think of going for loan. There's no need. Don't go for loan. Don't go and credit anybody. Don't go to microfinance. Don't go. If it's 100 CDs that you have, work with that. Master how you can handle money, because usually most of us, when you start, you don't know that money is something that you have to master. It's a skill that you have to develop. The way you handle your money when you have no business is different from when you have a business. And usually, if your understanding of money is weak, which most people's understanding of money is weak anyway, so don't go and take those kind of people. Don't go and take people's money. Don't go and take microfinance money. Don't go to the bank. Work with what you have, and grow it gradually. Grow it gradually. Understand that if I spend 1 cedi, I want to pick an exercise book and write it. If I spend 2 cedi, I want to write it in a book. If I take trotro, I want to write it in a book. If I go to the market and purchase all these goods, I want to write them in a book. Every day, every week, every month, you tabulate them. You put them together. You know how much you spent. Then when people come to buy from you, to write them down, tabulate every income that comes to the business. If AMA comes to take anything from you, write it down. If the income tax people come to take which they will come, write it down. If some of your goods get spoiled, write them down. These are the things. If you're able to just do a little, writing, what they call bookkeeping, it will help you to put a lot of things rightly. Even if you cannot, of course, if I'm speaking English, so it's likely that if you can understand this language, it means that at least you know how to write your name, how to write some things down. We are not talking of people who have gone to do all these business courses, MBA. No, those are not the people we are talking to. Most of those people will never even have a business idea to start with. They go to do the MBA to look for a job. So if you have started a business, you are that much qualified. A lot of them can never even look at selling wache on the roadside, or selling kelewele, or selling orange or pineapple. No, the education was that much very high, so they cannot bring themselves down to start anything with that school that they went. So if you have started an idea, and any business at all has the potential to become a great business, if the management is right, if the leadership is right. So that thing that you have started on the table, that thing that you have started in a kiosk, which you have started in your room, in your bedroom, in your single room, in your compound, wherever that you have started that business that people are patronizing, that business can become any business if you develop yourself. The difference between you and those who are able to build the business to a higher level is because of leadership, of management. You have to manage yourself. You would have to manage the product that you're selling. You would have to manage the business. You would have to manage the finances. There's a lot, and that is a major skill. Even though you started the restaurant, you started selling wache in a kiosk. If you want to grow it, it will have to go beyond you. And that will call for a shift of mind. A shift of mind. You have to shift the mind from saying that, oh, I started the watching myself, so this is, I'm in a idea where I'm mommy, so this is what I'm doing. Yes, be happy with that idea. Be happy that you have started this. Be happy that people are patronizing from you. But what it will take for you to lift this business to the next stage will go far more beyond just you saying that you have to become another person. You have to develop skills. You have to, and open your mind and get a lot of information. So go for, start to pick books and read, because now people are looking at your business. Your friends are calling you to say that, can you bring me that t-shirt? Maybe you have started a t-shirt business. Maybe you are designing and selling, or you are importing. Maybe you go to Makola, you buy them wholesale, you sell them to people on a retail. Whatever that you're doing, it's a good business idea. Forget about whatever anybody says. You don't have to be a genius to have a business idea. Anything that people want to buy, whether you are creating it yourself or whether somebody has created it and you can build a conduit for people who need it to get it at a price that is not negative but positive, that is a business that you can build. That is an idea that you can build. And the topic is that you have started it. You're not thinking, because some people can take 10 years before they settle on one idea to sell for 1 cedi to happen, for 1 cedi to come to the as a revenue. So the fact that you have started it, and you have had the courage to put it into practice, and 3 people have bought from you, 10 people have bought from you, 5 people have bought from you, 20 people have bought from you, and now you are counting money, because something about business is that it just hits you. So, so that's how it is. So when you have not done anything of that sort, you have no idea how the money comes in. The people that you see selling on the street, in the kiosk, the kind of money that they see, people who have not done it have no idea what they get. So something will hit you to say, wow, So now I can go and buy this from the market and come and sell it and make this that quickly. It's a whole shift of wealth, of a psyche, of a perspective, of a mindset. So you start to see money, and that I think that that's the best form of business to start. That's the best form of business idea to try, where you can just start something, sell, and get money the next minute. Looking at the structure of the economy and looking at the kind of technical skills and the expertise that we have, I think that for most people, the best that they can do is just go through a little process, get a product, get a service, and start to sell it to people. You start to get money, and there's no point trying to start something that you're going to put a lot of money in for years before you start to get revenue for it. Because the cost of doing business is that high. I mean, if you go to credit money from, let's say, the bank, it's very high. It's very high. Yeah, I mean, 30% or those kind of money, and most of them will not even give it to you anyway until you have done it for a while and qualified. And the fact is that you don't even need those kind of things to start. So that's why it's easier for you to just start something. You are producing. Maybe you are producing kelewele, wache. Just start anything, and or maybe Indomie on the street. It doesn't matter. Whatever that you can start that people will buy, based on our level. You have just finished SHS. You have just finished JHS or NVTI. You don't need to go and start car manufacturing business. You don't have to go and start how to make an electrical cable. No, that's not the kind of business, because it takes a lot. It takes a lot of expertise, a lot of technical skills, a lot of understanding to establish this kind of businesses. So you would want to start gradually, whichever level that you think you can start. So you don't need to say that I want to start what is it? A phone manufacturing company. You can have all these, big ideas, but none of them will happen until you start small. So it is your interest, but I am not even looking at people with first degree, second degree, MBA, PhD, those kind of people. I'm not looking at them. I'm looking at the guy who dropped out of the SHS, who just finished SHS or JHS that the father could not take care of. Now you have become a master or something. You're a carpenter, you're a mason, you're something, and you just started maybe electrical shop. You started construction, something. Whatever that you have started that people are patronizing, organize it. Organize it. You don't need to become the next, let's say, MTN. Just the letter that you have started. Organize it. Organize it well. Organize your finances. Organize yourself. Package the business well. Organize the place that you do business, and make sure that your service is very good. Make sure that you try to give the best of service to people who come. People who come to you. Maybe let's say you are selling blocks. People come to you. Make sure that you are going to be honest with them. Be credible. If somebody gives you 1,000 to say bring me blocks, and you give him the Thursday, and the Thursday happens and you cannot bring the blocks, tell the person, please, we cannot bring it this time. You can bring it this time. Don't take people for granted. You just open the place. They're coming. Don't take them for granted. Just do extra. Do more than what everybody else does. So if you cannot deliver, call them. We cannot deliver, we can deliver tomorrow morning. And don't run away with people's money. Don't cheat people. And don't use the money that is coming, even if it's making profit. Don't go and buy land with that money that just come. You just started the business 2 months, 3 months. You are going to buy a house. You are going to buy land to build or buy a car. You don't need all those now. Build the capacity of the business. Grow it. Make the business become strong. So let's say you started with 200 Ghana cedis. After 6 months, that money is now 2,000. Don't go and put it in susu somewhere. Bring more of the items that are going, that people are buying, grow it, expand it. And sometimes get 1 or 2 people to help you. You cannot go to the town, go to town, go and sweat, bring the things and come and sit in front of the shop and say that I don't trust anybody. Not even your wife, not even your husband. You want to do everything all alone. That is not the way to go. You would want to develop your skill to work with people. 1, 2, 3 people. And your ability to start working with people and know how to manage people will show whether your business will grow or your business will die. Because it can die. And it can only die, it can die because you did not grow. And if you're growing, you grow in your ability to manage people, your ability to manage their business, the finances, your ability to serve your customers well, be credible, be honest, your ability to know what is needed. Some people can sell just one item, even though people are coming, they're asking all the others. So anything that people are asking, you add up. Anything that people are asking, you add up. Forget about all the people who have gone before you, who are talking in terms of thousands, millions. Don't worry. The stage that you are, be proud of that and open your mind and continue to grow. So because some people are like you who have no idea what you are doing. People are like you who cannot even think of the business that you have started. There are people like you who cannot even, and sometimes some people are more educated than you, more exposed than you, but they have no idea how you started that business. And don't link all the business, when the business is doing well too, don't come and link all this, superstition and prayer and all those things to the business. Businesses work because you know the right principles that the business should follow for it to work. And that's something I've seen about a lot of people who start to do well in that kind of category, SHS, JHS kind of people. I'm sorry to say, when they start the business and if the business is doing well, Tuesday morning they say that they are going for prayers. They close the shop. Saturday morning, people are coming for you to buy from you. They say that the madam has gone to prayers. She's doing fasting, praying for the business. The business does not need prayer. The business needs attention. Because there are a lot of people who are doing business who are not praying, but they are successful because there are principles that you apply. Okay, so you look at how you're managing your money, how you're managing the people, how you're managing the time. You need to put a lot of time into this, what you have started to bring you money. So maybe it's a cake, you are making cake, or you're making ice water, or you're making yogurt. People are buying it. Don't go and take money, or don't go and credit to buy. Don't put a lot of your money into something that is not going to have direct effect on the revenue. What I mean by that is, some people start to sell. The next thing you say, they have gone to buy bicycle. Say that it will help me to move faster. No, don't do a lot of capital intensive, capital expenditure. Your money is that small. Grow it. If you have to put it in anything, put it in anything that has direct effect on the return. It has to go straight into the ingredients that you're using, into the product that you're using, so you can turn it quickly. You don't have to go and lock the capital in something and then you are going for loan. And when you go for the loan, when you are signing the loan, they will not tell you, but the next month they are coming for their money. And if there is any problem, you will not be able to focus on the money, on the business. But then you start to think about the loan, and you start to think about the disgrace. You start to think about, you start to be under pressure. And the moment you start to be under pressure, the business will die. So largely, until your finances, in terms of your financial scale, are very strong, stay with what you know. Stay with the money that you started with and continue to grow it, and don't destroy the money by trying to go and buy a lot of things. Make sure that every stock that you have within a month, that stock is turned around. Don't buy things that you're going to use for 1 year. Don't buy things that you're going to use for 1 year. Buy the things that 1 month you're turning, 2 months you're turning, 3 months you're turning, very less, so that the small capital that you have, you can grow it. So close your mind on loans, because they will destroy you. Usually we don't have the skill to deal with a lot of these microfinance people. It's a business that you're running, so they will come and look at your house, they will come and take they will take collateral, they will let people guarantee. And the business that you have started, if you go to take anything that you're paying 5-10% a month, you will die. The business will die, and you may not even have the stability. You'll panic. You just started the business with 100 Ghana, 200 Ghana, 1,000 Ghana, 2,000 Ghana. Grow that money. Make sure that 2,000 has become maybe 20,000 or 30,000. And don't live big. Once you start to see money, don't live big. Don't change your shoe. Don't change your clothes. Don't change your chain. And don't go and become the chairman of the offering committee, or the what is the name? The annual harvest, because you have started to see money. Because the money is not yours. The money is for the business. You know, the money is for the business. It's not yours. So even though you're seeing it, they will start to say, oh, God has started blessing you. And then you start to say that, yes, it's God who blessed me. So you want to take tithe from that business money. Don't take anything like that. Grow the money. Grow the money. Grow it. It's 100 now. It becomes 200 now. Don't hang the future of the business on something which is outside your control. And that's what you see around, all around. You go to Makola, you see that there's some guy with microphone or something. He's praying for the women so that business will come. Instead of him, instead of the women to start to see what are the principles that they have to learn for the business to grow, now they leave everything to, all kind of things. And then you see the woman will stagnate for the next 10 years, the same kind of business and the same kind of expertise. And that's why it is very hard for us to get companies like ShopRite and companies like that, which are built on structure, which are built on principles, which are built with systems. Because the people that we have which start some of these businesses, the only thing that they believe contributed to the success of their business is, they say in quote, it's because they went to pray every day or they went to give money. Businesses are built with principles that are known. And the more you learn about these principles and you practice them and become better at them, the more you can grow that business. So a lot of things are going to be, because the business is going to grow because you are growing. You're growing in your thinking, you're growing in the way you see things, you're growing in the way you handle the finances, you're growing in the way you add the product, how you're able to manage the people who come to work with you. If you have one person who is working with you, you have to treat them well. You have to treat them well. You have to build the trust in them. You don't just have to treat people anyhow, insult them, because most of these people, most of these masters, most of these guys who move around saying that, oh, I've started a spare parts business. You go there, the way they talk to the boys there. If you talk to people like that, it means that you don't know the value of people. And if you don't know the value of people, you cannot build any strong business from the level that you are building it. You can't, because you will need the minds of people, the strength, the energy, the input of people to grow that which you have just started in your backyard, on the table, in your room. So you are going to become another person for you to translate that idea. So you have just started a business and it's making you some money. What do you do next? What do you do next is that don't go and take loan from a microfinance. No matter who's telling you, don't take it. Now, focus on that business. The business needs attention. It's like you giving birth. If you leave that child who is 2 months and you're going everywhere, that child may have complications. That child may acquire some disease and that child may even die. So the same with the business that you have started. And manage the finances well. Focus on the money. Focus on what goes out. Write them. The first thing that somebody buys, write it. The second thing they buy, write it. And don't listen to all these people telling you need a business plan, or you don't need any business plan from them. They will come and say, I'm a consultant. I have to charge you 2,000 and produce a business plan for you. The business plan, the best of it is the one that you have written in your book. Write the things that you want this business to do and look at the kind of people that you think may be able to help you to build this business. If it gets to a point that you need proper consultant to help you to write a business plan for some money somewhere, at least that one is going for money. But if they say that they want to help you to write a business plan that you are not going to share to anybody, sit in your room and write the one that you want. Even if it's one sheet, it will guide you. It will help you to know what you have, what you don't have, And so you don't need all those kind of complex things that people will come and say. And the other thing is that look at the economy. Look at the economy. And when people come to you and they start to come and ask you for money, and all kind of people will come, because now once we start to see money, people will come. And I don't know why people will come. It's not your money, it's a business money. So if they come, I wish I knew this years ago. I wish I knew this years ago, because when you start to see money like that, people will come, and if you're a good person, they say that they will come and ask you, oh, my mother is at the hospital. Yeah, I need 100 Ghana. I'll bring you the next minute. They won't bring it. If you give it to 100 people, only one will remember to bring a lot of them, even though they said that they needed money for 50, 100. And every bit of it that you take from this business, It's the business money. It's not your money. And so if you continue to give them to people and they tell you that they will bring back, you collapse the business. So the business will survive because you have mastered some skill, and major part of it is the ability to manage the finances well. The finances well, and don't leave the future of the business to chances, superstition. So that if man, pastor, because they will come tell you that they have to pray for it so that the business will do well. What you need is technical understanding, technical expertise, more than those, because there is no fear. If you let them put fear in you, your business will die. Say that if you don't bring this money and for us to go and declare 3 days fasting, and a lot of them, a lot of the business women, are just being torn, being tossed around. Some of them have even gone to big schools, being tossed around every day. They're organizing prayer seminars every. You don't need those. What you need is good heart. What you need is our principles. What you need is kindness. What you need is loving. Love the people you work with. Respect them. Let them respect you. Those are the things that will prove that you really are a religious person. Not you closing the shop and turning it into a church. You go to church to pray. Now the business that you're doing, you have turned it into church. And those are the things that eat away the strength of the business. The strength of the business. So you don't develop. You develop halfway. Instead of you developing the skills to manage the money, the skills to manage the people, the skills to manage the business, now you are leaving everything to something beyond you. That's why the business may not grow. So there's a gentleman who called me the other day. He said that he has started a business and he wants some kind of thing. He wants to hear something. I said that, okay. The letter that I know is that focus on that business. Don't leave it to chances. It's a good thing that you have started. Many people don't have any business idea that they have practiced, that it has paid them 3 cedis, 10 cedis. Many people, they just talk, but they have never had one revenue, one petzua even from it. So if you have been able to set up something, whether you're selling wache, whether you're selling kalawale, whether you're selling second-hand clothes, it's a business. The next thing is that believe that this thing can grow beyond feeding you and paying school fees. This thing can become a business, because a lot of people have started things like that and it grew. And the only way it grew is that they understood that it could grow. It could grow, so they believe in it. The difference between the other guy who started selling broniwau, and who stayed just that level, and the other guy who started broniwau and grew it into a big business is because the other guy believed that it could become. There's a possibility that that thing could become a business. So maybe you are selling ice water or sachet water. That thing can become a business. So it's the belief system, and then knowing what you have to learn for you to pick that idea from that stage to the next stage. And there are key things that you have to know. I've said them severally. The money, managing the money well, managing the people, learning how to work with people and show respect and train people and share your ideas with people. Mr. Mangwa, thank you. Right. And learning how to train people, believe that it's not just, don't just close up. Don't just close up. If the people will come and they steal, don't worry, another person will come and will not steal. And the more you build them, the more you help them to become better, the more your business will become better. Because everybody that you work with, their expertise is directly linked to the results that you're getting from your business. So we are not talking to people with all this big education. I'm just looking at the guy who just finished JSS, my mate who couldn't have the chance to continue, who has opened a phone shop. That phone shop can become a big business if he focuses, and if it takes a lot of time to develop it. It can become anything. It can become anything. There's no point trying to cry that, oh, because I didn't go to school, that's why my business is not growing. You didn't go to school, but you can read. Go and get business books and read. School yourself. Go to these guys and ask questions. How do I handle my money? How do I handle this business well? And also believe that you also know something. You cannot leave every decision for another person to make for you. After all, when there's trouble, nobody will own up to that trouble. It will be your trouble. If that business is collapsing and you owe people, nobody will take ownership of that debt. You will be. So it shows that at least you have something. You have something that you have to believe that this business that I've started, this bakery that I've started, it can become anything. It can become anything. Every business that you see around, every business, everyone that you see, every one of them was started by somebody like you. and they committed, they stayed with it. And perchance, if that business fails, don't cry. Go and start another one. Because it failed because there are things that you didn't pay attention to. You didn't pay attention to the money, you didn't pay attention to the people, you didn't pay attention to the market. You know, you don't even know how to sell to your customers. They come there, you talk to them like you're talking to your schoolboys. There are people like that. They get up in the morning, they go to the shop, and people come to the shop, and they don't even look at them. They don't look at them. They are the madam, they are the master. When somebody gets up in the morning to come to your business place, that's the person that you'll be praying for to come and buy. When those people show up, give them the best of service. Give them the best of service so that they will come back again. If anybody buys from you and they don't want to come back again, it means your service is not good. You're doing something which is wrong. And those things are the things that you pay attention to. And trying to look for some demon somewhere which is responsible for why your business is not working. Why your business is not working is because there are principles that you don't know, or you are flouting. That's why that business is not working. But if you identify these things and you do them well, give yourself 2 years, give yourself 3 years, give yourself 4 years. It starts to grow and you can become anything. Your paint, the business that you're selling. How does one address the issue of investing in training staff members only for them to leave? What guarantees should one secure before training staff? I think that the culture is that people usually, especially those who have gone to school, the first ones, those who have just finished national service, and they've been at home, they're looking for jobs. When you give them the first job, usually they think that there is always somewhere that is better. I would say that continue to train, and don't worry about those who leave. Let them leave, but somebody else will stay. So if you train 100, maybe one will stay, and that one will cover the 99 that left. So I would say that train, and guarantees. I don't know. What I know is that continue to train and give the best, because once you give the best to people, when they go, if you raise your place so high, when they go, you always remember. And those who start to hear, those who left and what is happening to them, may take a look at it twice before they start to leave, because you have raised the standard so high. You give them opportunities, you pay them well. There's a lot that they can do to become better. If those things are done rightly, maybe the first few may go, but after a while, they get to hear those who left and what happened. And those who you equipped more, they will help the business to grow. So I think that culturally, we still that much. A lot of the guys who finish, especially the men, they are desperate, and they were not equipped to be patient, to stay with a startup, to stay with a business for it to grow, to become big. And they usually trivialize what the person who started the business had to put in for the business to grow. So they think that, when they come close, they think that it's that easy for them to also start something like that. Or they think that some company somewhere that some people have sacrificed is better than what you have. So I think that continue to train them and give them the best of training. Those who stay will so much pay for the losses of those who left. I think so. I hope it makes sense. So what guarantees one should secure before training staff? Train them. Guarantees, I'm just train them, because the school that they went to, there's no training anyway. They just dab. The exam, they just dab anyway. They all the things that they tell you that they learned, they didn't learn them. So now you have to train them if you want the best from them. You cannot depend on the education that they had from these universities, because they can only argue and talk, but there's no substance. Okay, guarantees are continuity. Okay, okay, I don't get it. But guarantees like what? What I know is that you train them and give them the best, and some people will stay, because what we have done, people have left from people that who were looking for job didn't have, and then we give them job, and they come and you train them. They get to learn something small. The next minute they tell you that you're nothing and they move on. But the few people who stayed, they have done fabulously well, than those who left. That's what I I think guarantees continuity. I don't know that. So, Mr. Amankwa, maybe you explain further for me, and you let us also know what you also think, and what we can also learn from that. So the business that you have started, don't give up. It's a good idea. If you are getting revenue, it's the best. Continue to develop it and continue to develop yourself. The business will stay at the level of your maturity. The business will stay at the level of your maturity. So if you stay class 1, the business will stay class 1. The more you stretch yourself, the more the business will grow. So you cannot stay at that level. You have to grow, stretch yourself, stretch, do more, stretch the sales, stretch your ability to lead more, increase the work staff, push yourself, get out there, push, because that's how the business is going to grow. And never be satisfied with little. When you achieve, you buy one car, you say that I've done well. You have not done well. People have bought thousands of them, and they're creating job opportunities for people. And so our company or our country needs people like you. And as a matter of fact, we need you more than we need the politicians or the other people. We need people who can just start something. We need people who can just put an idea to work and start something. We need people like that. And so if you have been able to translate the idea into something that is getting you revenue, alert ladies tend to be committed and honest in their work than they make underpart. I have resolved to be employing more ladies now. The only challenge with the ladies is emotional instability. I think so. The ladies are more moderate. The boys are more dangerous. They are ambitious, and they are volatile. I think the ladies are. I think. And emotional instability, maybe find them boyfriend if they don't have one. But you can also, emotional instability, I think it's also dependent on the kind of knowledge that they get to process all the time. So maybe you can help them to look at life in a more broader sense, as to what should make them panic or unstable. What is it? Is it maybe, usually women's problems, usually somebody did not talk to me well, those kind of things. I think those can be managed, but largely ladies are, I think so, you're right. The ladies are far better and more dependable. And if they even steal, they steal moderately more than the others. The guys can just take everything, right, and destroy the business, and then they tend to fight more, you know. So I think so. I think so. I think so. So maybe it's emotional stability help them to find a boyfriend. You'll be fine. But largely it's true. It's true. They are. I think that most of the women, especially the graduates, they are committed. They're committed, and if you treat them well, they can be that much good. Once in a while, you find somebody who is dangerous. But I think that if you pick 10, most ladies 7 will be better. But if you pick 10 of the guys, maybe one is that robust, because I don't know what they process. Is it the football that they watch too much, and they don't read? That's the thing about the guys. They don't read anything. They believe so much in the university education, so much. The ladies are moderate, so they are open to discussion. The guys come with fair mind that they also know something. Yet what they know, there's no foundation beneath it. There's no substance in what they know. So if you give them something to work, they can't produce the results. And if you query them, they get angry because they think that they have university education. It's tough. And in terms of credibility, honesty, it's also a challenge for the boys. They have to be trained on this, and maybe they have to be helped to be a bit moderate in terms of in terms of the haste they have to get what they want. And yes, so if you are doing business like that, I think we still have to be open to trying and getting the skill ourselves, because it's a major skill for us to also keep updating our ability to manage people. It's a major skill that we have to develop. Even though they will come, they will steal, they will lie, but we still have to have the ability to manage people. A friend of mine has a company. He picked this guy who came. He thought that he had a good guy, but the guy understudied him, and then the guy picked the business, went to take a lot of his customers, and started producing the same thing. Now, if you were my friend, what would you say? Said, oh, maybe I will not pick any of those guys again. But you have to. You have to still learn how to manage people. And maybe look at your structures, look at your systems look at where you can also upgrade, update, so that people like that, when they come, at least they cannot cause a lot of damage like that, because a lot of them can cause damages. You're a contractor, you expose this engineer to a lot of your clients. The next minute he's formed another company and he's going to your client to offer them better offer than what you are offering. Those things happen. But entrepreneurship is tough, and human beings are like that. Human beings have the choice to make, and I would rather want to compete on credibility, on honesty, but a lot of people would want to compete. They just want to get money. They don't care what damage they cause. So those are guys who will be there, but you just have to manage the situation and see what comes out. So the idea is making money. The idea is making money. Go to the next step. Become a better person. Manage the finances well. Add more to the business, and always constantly study. Build yourself. Don't leave it like that, and don't become so much satisfied with little achievement. There are so many opportunities. The moment you start to understand how business is built, there are so many things that you can start to do. And if you finish the SS or SHS, don't let that be a liability. Never. After all, you have the wisdom from the street. You have strength. Some people who put a lot of years in school may not have that kind of strength that you have. So don't look down upon yourself. See that you also come with something. Because sometimes in a part of the world, people who don't go to this kind of schools, university and things like that, seem to be worried so much about the school that they didn't go to. No, you should not let that worry you. What should worry you is when you're not living your dream. When you're not living your dream. And if so much worries you, go and get 9 classes and go and do some part-time somewhere. But nobody becomes successful because they went to university. No, nobody. You become successful because you develop yourself and you show commitment to go after your dreams. And after all, you have started this business. It's working. Focus on it, build it, and become the best at what you do. And never take your customers for granted. Never take the people you work with for granted. Always be present. Never come to a point where you raise yourself so much above the business, that when customers come, you cannot serve customers now because you are the boss. Your guests will have to attend to customers. You will lose the business. You lose the business. So the wisdom of us getting wisdom to run the business, you have to glean it. You have to pick it. Go talk to people, read, research, listen, school yourself. Now you have started the business. Is it making sense? Cut yourself from a lot of things that did not develop you. So if you're watching too much TV, cut it. If you're watching too much sports, cut it. There are things that were wasting your time, cut them. Now put a lot of the time in building this business and grow it. Because if you focus on it, it will explode. If you go and interview businesses that are doing well now, how they started is how you have started. It's not strange. It's the same. Very few people start business from a very top level, and even that, they lose a lot of money. A lot of them fail. So the best way to start a business is the way you have started it, small, and start to model it. And focus on you becoming better. And so the best form of investment is you. Focus on investing so much in yourself. So the next 3 years, the next 4 months, what you know about money now should be so much different from the next 4 months. You start to read so much about money and how to make the right decisions. Read so much about the business that you do. So you're into restaurant business, read so much about it. How do you become successful in restaurant business? Or you are into whatever business that you are into. Maybe you're into bakery. How do you do it? How do you become better? How can you change it? And get website for it if you want. Get on the social media, but nobody buys that much from social media. Go and sell it. Whatever you're doing, give it some kind of dignity. Give it a clout, and don't worry so much about somebody calling you anything. Don't worry. Now, the master said it doesn't matter. Sell it. You know what you're getting. Most people don't know what it takes to make money. Okay. Making money has nothing to do with name. It has everything to do with business which works. So if you're selling even soil and able to make money, do it, and do it well. Do it with pride, do it with dignity, and build systems. Look at building systems. Look at building structures. That's how. And the structures are the people. The structures are the things that you are doing, and continue to believe that you have to grow. Continue to grow. Even if you are 10, 20 years, continue to grow. So whatever you're doing, continue to grow. And never be afraid of losses. Never be afraid of losses or people cheating you or running away from you or running away with your money. Those things will happen. Be ready for them. So if it's not happening, no, thank God it's not happening, but something will happen. Something will happen that will shake, that will come to test you, that will come to test your confidence. This business that you have started, a blunder will come. And it's not the devil. Just how nature tests your confidence in that which you have started. So and those things will bring out your inadequacies, your insufficiency, that the areas that you are not good, those things will come. They'll pop up every now and then. So sometimes it could become a debt. Make the wrong financial decisions, you become a debt, or you pick the wrong person, he stole everything from you. You pick another wrong person, he destroyed everything that you committed to him. Those are all tests. They prove where you are not right, where you are not strong, and what you have to do to cover them. Those things will happen. So don't worry about those. A lot of businesses do well because they have scientific data to interpret a lot of things that happen. Don't link a lot of things to Malam. Don't go to Malam and look for solution. Believe that you also have the mind to make the right decision to make the business work, because our country is full of people who believe everything is above them except their intelligence, or they will go and call some prophet somewhere. Stay out of those. Focus on your business and become a good person. I think that a lot of things can be done and can be done rightly. So business is making sense. It started. Encourage yourself. That is a good step that you have taken. And very few people, 2% of the world people are able to act on their business idea. Everybody has a business idea. If you don't know, every one of us has some business idea that we are working on. But you haven't committed to start it. It means that you have courage. It means that you believe what you're doing. Entrepreneurship is about doing. Business is about doing. It's not about just having nice idea and writing documents. It's about doing. So once you have done it and money is coming, it's a great idea. So start to build it. And now the hindrance will be you. If the business collapses, it is you. You didn't grow. If you didn't understand the things that you needed to understand for the business to grow. So focus on the people, focus on the idea, focus on sales, focus on the money, manage the money well, and take a lot of things that you think somebody is doing against you, and the business will grow. It will grow. It will grow, and it will explode. And never compare. If you work the business well, you may not compare the money that you're receiving as monthly salary to the business if you build it and build it well. And if you have no job, this business that you have started has become your job. So focus on it 100%. Don't trivialize it. You will think about it every day, every minute, every hour. You're planning. So constantly you're planning. And when you go through town, that's all you're seeing. Before you were not seeing anything. Now you're seeing. You're looking at everywhere you go. The product you're looking at. How can I bring my business here? That's all. It becomes your world. Because now you're occupied. And the more you pay attention to, the more you succeed. So thank you very much for watching. And maybe people who are doing business, because every now and then we get people who didn't think this thing was good, but people are calling to say that I watched your video and it helped me, and it's a good thing. It's a good feel, because you have gone through a lot of nasty situations, and the little things that we think we have acquired, we think we should share them, and perchance somebody else will be helped just by one line or two lines, because we need a lot of people to build businesses more than anything. I tell you, in a country like ours, we need a lot of people to build businesses with credibility, with honesty, with seriousness, with excellence, and seeing it as a tool for development. I really believe so. that if a lot of our young men will start businesses, let them fail, it doesn't matter. Just start something. It's a farm, it's a restaurant, it's whatever that you start. Whatever that you start, let them start something. And if all of them start, if we have 1,000 and we even have 3 succeeding, next time you see Ghanaian businesses going to Togo, going to China, going to America, because out of the thousands, 3, 4, 20 will survive. That's why we need more guys to look at business than politics, or than starting churches, or looking for employment, which don't exist anyway. Because we are producing over 300,000 graduates every year, if you don't know. These are just the tertiary. How about the JSS people? How about the SHS people? We are producing a lot of them. And so the only two that we probably have to give out now is you can do something on your own and try till you succeed and never give up on your dream. So the business you have started is good. It shows that you believe in something. It shows the level of your faith. After all, you didn't just think, you didn't just talk. You started it. It's making sense. Now go to the next level of becoming better, equipping yourself, managing the money, focusing on the business and developing it to a point that you see that it starts to make sense to you. And it will take a while. It will take you about 5 years for you to see this business is growing into millions, into, million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 20 million, 5. It's up to you. And it's all possible if you don't give up. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you. Mr. Sari, thank you very much. Thank you.